Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and I have another fun St. Patrick's Day card to share with you today. Hey, so I am using an oldie. This is the Sunburst dies that I created a bunch of backgrounds with at one point. And then I'm using Spring Dies 2, Rainbow Dies, Gnome Dies St. Patrick's Day Add-ons, Gnome Dies Pot of Gold, Gnome Dies, Card Mat Dies, Stitched Oval Dies, Clover Stencil, and then, oh, there's that Sunburst Card Mat die. I'll be bringing in some other stuff a little later as well. Okay, so I did that ink blending on Nina Desert Storm 80-pound cardstock with Lucky Clover Distress Oxide ink. And I did that during the February release, so you could check that out. But I'm just taking a piece of paper tray ink white cardstock, and I cut it at 4.25 by 11 inches and scored at 5.5 inches to give you a vertical A2 size card. So now I'm taking that stenciled background and I'm cutting an oval out of it. And that is the 4 3/16 inch tall oval. And you see that I cut the cut the stencil out with the card mat dies. And then there you go. And I'm going to kind of have a peekaboo of like a rainbow going on. Whenever I have no mojo, I like to create these backgrounds and just put them in a bin and pull them out later. And this is one of them. That is all with Basil cardstock. And I just made a bunch of rainbow backgrounds. So it's just lots of fun to do, I find. Now I'm using score tape and I'm going to stick down this oval or this stenciled background with an oval cutout. And you'll see that I'm working on my Stampin' Up pad using my Teflon bone folder. Did all my die cutting with my Gemini machine, you know, yada, 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 all the normal jazz. Okay, so I'm just going to put down my background. It's just kind of fun, right? So I've got like a rainbow. And I'm going to use my ATG tape to stick this down on the front of an A2 size card base. That is that paper tray ink white cardstock. I'm just going to try and line that up as well as I can. And there you go. Now this is my little gnome. He's cut out of American Crafts black cardstock. And I'm going to put him together. Now that is some rust colored cardstock from American Crafts. And I cut his little beard and mustache out from that. And I will glue that down with some art glitter glue. Remember, with the boy gnomes, you always start with the beard. And I cut off the feet because I'm going to be using the Gnome Dies Pot of Gold add-ons. And then I use the little shiny black shoes that I put together on the February gnome assembly video just to, you know, add it to this card, along with that little cute little pint of beer that I put together on that release video, or the gnome assembly video in February. Okay, so now I did cut out the hat, and that is from the Gnome Dies St. Patrick's Day add-ons. That is cut out of Doodlebug's cardstock from their Lots of Luck 6-inch pad. And there you go. Remember, you want to trim off that big hat that's on that gnome shadow or that gnome, I don't know, base piece, right? Because you're going to stick down the hat that covers it. Now, you have to do this sometimes, a little bit of gnome dissection, right? You saw I removed the feet already. That's because I'm using those little shiny feet that don't fit on those little nubs, or at least they do, but I kind of wanted mine to be standing up straight. You know what I mean? Now I'm adding a little band on his hat. That's just American Crafts black cardstock. And then this is gold foil cardstock from that American Crafts Christmas foil pad, but it's just gold foil cardstock. And I'm sticking it all down using my reverse tweezers. There we go. Now his little nose and hands were cut out of P13 stamping pad skin tones, so you'll see those in a minute. I'm just going to stick down these little shiny black shoes. Those were cut out of Simon Says stamped black glossy cardstock, and then the same gold foil cardstock from American Crafts. So there you go. Now there is his little pint, and I put that together during the February gnome assembly video for the, what's it called? The Gnome Dies Pot of Gold add-ons. And there you go. Isn't he cute? Just so darn cute. And I'll be adding him to the card. Now, I did cut the sun. That is from the, what's it called? The Spring Dies. I don't know why I don't have that listed on my paper here, but I believe it's a Spring Dies. And I just put that together. That's cut out of that same Basil paper, right, in yellow. And I'm just going to lay that down where that sunburst kind of originates from, right? And I did cut out clouds. That's from Paper Trank white cardstock. That's from our rainbow dies. So I love these clouds. I always say that they're my favorite, right? So I'm just going to stick those down, kind of like in a visual triangle. You'll see that I have that sentiment, that Shamrock and Roll that I'm going to use. That is from the Gnome dies, Gnome stamp set. It's called Lucky Vibes Stamp Set and Outline Dies. There we go. So lots of fun stuff. I'm going to be adding that little gnome there. He's so cute. Trying to figure out how this is going to work out. There you have that. So I'm just going to use some art glitter glue to stick him down. You know, adding him to the bottom of this card. Remember with that sunburst die, you do not have to use all the pieces. Like I tend to use the I guess, what is it? The outline die for the sunburst. And I use it kind of like a puzzle, you know, stick it down, but just with a piece of, you know, washi tape, glue all my pieces in and then pull it up, right? So you get that kind of relief look, which is kind of fun. Okay, so now I am pulling off the background. I'm using, you know, Stampin' Up! Dimensionals to pop up this sentiment. It says Shamrock and Roll. I'm going to cover the sun a little bit in the upper left-hand corner. There you go. I'm still not loving the front. I can't put my finger on what's wrong, but I'll come back to that. So this is the border paper from Doodlebug's Lots of Luck 6-inch pad, and I just trimmed out, you know, I chose a few to trim out with my paper trimmer. And then that stamp set, that one says, Wishing You a Happy St. Patrick's Day. And that is from the Lucky Vibes, or no, it's from the Clover for Sale stamp set. And I cut that out with our mini tag dies 3, and I added that to the bottom of these little borders. Kind of fun, right? With my ATG tape. And I'm just trimming off the overhang with a pair of scissors. So this little Lucky You, that is from the Doodlebug Lots of Luck Odds and Ends. So I'm going to pop that up on the lower right here, just for fun. There we go. Then on the inside, I'm going to add this little 4-leaf clover. So I'm adding that on. There you go. And isn't that cute? And then I'm adding on a little clover. That is from the Booth Clover Add Ons. I'm just going to add that one as well. Trying to figure out if I'm going to add any others, but I thought, no, I'm going to skip that. Okay, so I did go ahead and I cut out that same cloud again that's above the sun, and I decided I want to cover up some of those rays. I don't know, I just kind of thought it would look better. So I'm just going to pop that on with a little bit more glue and line it up. And I like the look of that. I'm going to fix up that in a minute. I'm just going to add that on with some art glitter glue. And I will add one cloud to the inside as well, because why not, right? I had one, so I thought, I'll just add it to the inside for a little bit of decoration. I love Jaded Blossoms dies. I love all the stitching. I think it adds a real, you know, pop to your project. So I'm just going to add this little one there. Super cute stuff, right? And now I'm pulling out my Alt-New Essential Black and White Enamel Dots, and I'm just going to add a few white ones to the front of this project, just for a little bit of shine. And, you know, I straddle the sentiment and the image, right? Kind of at an angle. You know, you want odd numbers. So I have 5. And then I'm pulling out Nouveau, Glitter Accents and Fresh Snowfall. And I'm just going to add some glitteriness to the top of that pint of beer. Right? Isn't that fun? Just super fun. So thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to hop on over to the Jaded Blossom blog, Be Inspired at the Jaded Blossom store to get your hands on these amazing products. And thank you as always for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. And come back soon and check out another. Bye, everyone.